figure
How
this
are
out.
you?
Hold on. I'm good.
That's right.
I'm good. I'm just
Okay.
very, very in this picture here. Moving back a bit. How are you doing?
I'm so good, and I'm so happy that we could do this. I'm so
I am
excited.
too. I'm grateful to be here with you.
I mean, I'm grateful because you are doing some pretty amazing work right now. And so I'm so excited to hear all about it and to talk about it and to let everybody know that doesn't already, all about Project Kind and everything you guys have going on. So
Thank you.
I think we should start at the beginning.
Okay.
And just for anybody watching or listening who is not familiar with your organization, talk a little bit about Project Kinds and
Okay. Give me 1 sec. I'm just setting
go
up. Okay.
for it.
Okay. I think that's a little better. Okay, that's so much better. About Project Kind. So Project Kind started really about 8 years ago.
Oh, okay.
It was, yeah, we've been doing this for a while. It was a family-run outreach at the beginning. So it really was the result of a family meeting that we had when my girls were younger. We sat them down, and the topic of our conversation was, what does it mean to live out your truth? So to really put actions to things that you believe strongly about. And together we came up with these things that we all agreed on, which were that everyone is worthy of love, everyone has
Hmm.
purpose, and that no matter what your challenges are, we all have something to share. So we decided to go out as a family and just find a way to remind people of those things. And we started going to areas where we knew people were in need and simply sharing with them what we had, which really wasn't that much, with some sandwiches, or if it was cold out, we'd get some hats and gloves, and we would go and spend some time with people, get to know them, and share it. So that's how it started. It was a super simple idea that it was good to love one another and take care of each other. And how could we find a way to do that?
So you said that this was a whole family outreach, and how old were your daughters when you started doing this work with them?
They were 10 and 8.
Wow.
Yeah,
So from a
they were
young
young.
age. That's incredible.
Yeah, yeah, and the reason we even had that conversation was because when they were even, we had decided, we want to share what we have, and we started taking in foster kids, and my girls grew up really knowing nothing else but sharing what they had, and I wanted to kind of check in with them, and we had adopted a child who is considered severely autistic. So there was a lot going on in our house at that time, and I wanted to check in and make sure that they understood our why and figure out where they were at, and then try and figure out ways to take the challenges, learn from them, and then apply them in other ways. So
Wow,
that's
that's so
how it started.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was a great experience for us, and the more we did it, we started to realize like the impact that um, the interaction was. So it wasn't really even so much the sandwich, but it wasn't the give, it was how we were giving it. It was that
Hmm.
interaction, that moment, and allowing somebody to know that they're seen, give them the opportunity to be heard, and remind them that they were loved. And we started to see these great changes in people, and this kind of light come out of them that maybe they hadn't felt in a while. So yeah, we decided, let's see if we share people's stories, and maybe if we create opportunities for others to join us and share what they have, we can help people in other ways. So that's what we started to do, all through social media.
Wow. And this was 8 years ago. And then how did it kind of take off from there? Like I want to know about the journey from you and your family going and doing this stuff to what you are now, which is this whole full-blown organization.
Yeah, it has been quite a journey, and I'm very grateful. Um, so the more we started to share stories and allow people to be seen and heard, and the more we created these opportunities for people to connect and know who they were giving to, um, people started to just respond. So we would wake up and our porch would be filled, with everything we asked for and more. And then we started to get notes to people like, I saw John's story. Can you give him this? And it was this beautiful note of encouragement. So we started
Oh
to
my
get those
gosh.
kind of connections. And to go then and deliver that. So it's not only the jeans they asked for, but this amazing, letter and seeing the impact that had on that person and how encouraging it was and how they were inspired to then take that next step to moving forward. It just started to kind of get bigger. And at some points, not exactly sure how, but State Farm heard about the way we were outreaching a little maybe differently than they had seen before. So they decided to feature us in their Neighborhood of Good campaign.
Wow.
Yeah, so they contacted us and they had a production company come out and they filmed this like little, I don't know, either a long commercial or mini documentary. I don't know what to call it, but when they did that, which was a wonderful, wonderful experience, they then involved Toyota, and Toyota decided to gift us a van because we had this little tiny car that we were outreaching with, and some startup money for us to be able to start a nonprofit. So when that happened, then the Giants, two of the Giants players came to the event where they gifted us that vehicle and that money. And they got to meet some of the people we had been serving and hear their stories. And we got a call maybe a day or two later from the Giants saying these players want to be involved. Like they just felt this connection with what you're doing. So then we had some players involved. And then the Giants organization got involved and we started doing this annual event there and it kind of just
It was a
happened.
snowball.
Yeah.
That was a snowball effect through
The
and through.
best part for me with all of that is, there was no ask. I didn't make a call and say, hey, can you give me this or can you do this? I just feel like when you're doing things and you put it out there, the people that feel drawn to it or who are led to it, whether it be, a mom or a Giants player, they're going to come. Like we all kind of find each other. So
Wow.
kind of just organically happened.
And I think that's the best. That's what makes it, I think that makes it even better. And I love that you were not only giving these people physical things, that they may have needed, but I feel like you were doing so much more in the sense that there was a lot of, because we all as humans crave connection and human interaction, and you were giving them that. If someone was giving them a pair of jeans, but also a handwritten note or something, and it was just that connection, and it probably made everybody involved just feel so good.
Yeah, I think that's key. It's that connection. So even for me, I outreach. I try to outreach at this point. I'm at like 7 days or nights a week, and a big part of that is relationship building. So we're not just having people line up, handing them a sandwich, and they walk away. We're sitting together. We're sharing a meal. We're both eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich together. And what I love the best too about our Mobile Street outreach is that the people we're serving, they're our partners in kindness too. Them to help. So help me set up, or they'll help me, walk around and deliver things to people who aren't able to get to where I'm at.
Oh my gosh.
They're just as much a part of it. And they're so willing and eager and wanting to give. So we're creating opportunities for them too. We all need each other. And there might really, I'm constant about one location. Like I go everywhere, and no matter what state I'm in, I'm intentional about doing outreach, but there is a few spots that I'm intentional about going to often. And they really are my friends. They know just about as much about me as I do about them. So it's been a great experience.
That's really special. And now how wide is your reach now at this point with Project Kind?
Yeah, so it's getting wider. The great
That's
thing
great.
about that is we've been able to partner with other outreaches. So for the first time ever, we have this kindness closet that we opened. So it used to be everything was run out of my home, but now we have this space. So we're able to take in more donations, and we're able to open the closet up to anybody, any outreach in any town, any city, anywhere can come here. And if we have it, they're welcome to it. So
Wow.
the donations that are coming here are having a further reach, because it's not just me handing them out. I mean, there's only so much time, but now others are able to benefit from it also.
That's
So,
incredible.
yeah, we have some people in other states that are doing outreach for us, which is wonderful. And but yeah, it's our first kindness closet, and we're really hoping to have others.
Oh, that's great. That's such a great idea. I love the whole concept of that. And how many people are on your team,
There's a
would you
lot.
say?
So there's a lot. There's a lot of volunteers. You know, anybody who gives to us, I consider is our partner in kindness. So, you know, we have we did. We have schools that were participating, Project Kind clubs. So it's hard to kind of, I really should try and figure out a number, but I'm not sure. So, yeah, we have a few Project Kind clubs in schools, and they were doing fundraisers throughout the year and also in-kind collections of needed items. And the wonderful thing, there's one Project Kind club who raised enough money to help us house a mom and her kids who were experiencing homelessness. So we were able to attach those kids with this family's journey. So it was just this great moment where they got to feel the impact of kindness and how they can make a difference, you know, and that mom and their kids got to know that these kids, you know, an hour away cared about them, and their efforts helped her move forward. So yeah, but I don't know a number of.
That's okay. It's obviously enough that that you're growing this much, and you're picking up all this steam, and you're expanding in so many ways. And I know you have something really exciting coming up, if you wanted to talk about that.
Yeah, we do. So there's a summit. It's called the Powerhouse Working Moms Mindset Summit. It's all of June. So there's like a link in my bio if people want to sign up. So the summit's going to have amazing speakers and all these events throughout the month. But for us, they've offered all of the proceeds to go to Project Kind. And in return, they're just asking us to find a few moms who are in need, and that money goes to help them. So we've been able to film a few moms' stories of how, because of COVID, they've lost their job and they, you know, could be experiencing homelessness, you know, and our hope is to help them avoid that. So the money raised through the summit is going to go to help these moms through this challenging moment. So the women attending this summit are going to be a part of these moms' journeys.
And they're going to be a part of your team and Project Kind in a way.
Kindness, yes.
That's incredible. I love that you call them partners in kindness. That's so perfect. And I think that especially now, I mean, and you've probably had work to do long before this, but right now I think people like you and organizations like Project Kind are just so important. Now more than ever, because this is a time that is very trying for a lot of people, just in more ways than one. And I think that your message and your mission, no matter how you're affected by this, is just something that we can all be inspired by.
Yeah. So, right. So a lot of what we're doing is, it's so much, it's not just about the person who's receiving, but it's about the people who are able to give, right? So especially now, there are so many gaps in the system, like where people's needs aren't being met. People who maybe weren't feeling a need are now feeling it in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So even though the needs have grown, the opportunities for us to come together as in communities and love one another and take care of each other, that's grown too. So yeah, we all have something we can share and give, and we can all, every single one of us, we can have an impact. And I think it's important for us to be intentional about seeking out those opportunities, maybe, and
Mm-hmm.
being aware of them, like being aware of people around us. And I've learned through doing this for some time now that when you are intentional about thinking, okay, what do I have to share? You can't help but to realize where you're blessed, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have less time to want.
Mm-hmm.
So it really does grow you and helps you to appreciate and see purpose and feel
Yep.
grateful.
Absolutely. There's just so many good things coming from work like this that you're doing for everybody involved. And you said something very important. We do all have something to give, whether again it be something physical or something more than that that you can't really maybe see with the eye. And it's important to kind of have that kind of mindset and think like that right now. And I mean, you seem like this is something you're very passionate about. Has this been something, has this always been how you have lived your life? I know you said you started doing this with your family 8 years ago, but what kind of work were you doing before this? That I just feel like you probably must have been doing stuff like this your whole life.
Yeah. So for a few years, I was a homeless outreach case manager for a nonprofit.
Okay.
So I did that for a bit, and then I worked as a caseworker with families who had children with special needs and helping them get the services they needed. So I was doing that. But then I took some time off, and we started taking in foster children, and we chose to take in kids that were considered difficult to place. Um,
Wow.
and there was some challenges there, but again, when we did that, we thought, wow, we're going to do this great thing and help these kids. But when I look back now, I realize like how much I learned from them,
Mm-hmm.
and how it did prepare us to be ready to start Project Kind,
Mm-hmm.
and within those years is when our son came to us as a foster child, and we had to make this decision because 2.5 years into fostering him, he severely regressed, and we had to decide, is this a child we're going to give back to the system, or is he just as worthy now as he was the day he came to us? And he is adopted. He's in our family. He's 15 now.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Wow.
that he really had the biggest impact on us. He is nonverbal and needs full-time care, but yet he is like our daily reminder that everybody is worthy of love and has purpose, and that we all have something to share. He shares something with us every day, you know.
Wow.
So I don't know.
That's incredible.
I think it's been a growing process for me, and it's really been through those challenging moments that grew me. I mean, I don't want to speak for the rest of my family, but it kind of got us to a place where we could take on more.
Your stepping stones to, I think, with everything you've done with Project Kind, I'm sure. And now, how can we, and anybody watching or hearing about Project Kind, what are some ways that people can get involved, and how can we contact you and be your partners in kindness?
Yeah, so if you would like to partner in kindness, so we have the website, which is projectkind123.org. There's a ton of information on there about our mobile street outreach. We have a homeless to house program where, you know, you could be a part of helping somebody avoid eviction or go
Mm-hmm.
from, you know, experiencing homelessness to not. There's information on kindness closets. And so, yeah, you can go to the website. Also, you know, follow us here on Instagram, share our stories and posts. That would be wonderful. And donate, you know, time, talents, treasures, you know, whatever it is you have that you want to share, we can find a place for it for sure.
That's incredible. I mean, this has been so inspiring. I'm truly just speechless. I don't even know what to say because you are just such a beautiful person and you're doing very beautiful work. And it's so, so lovely to hear these kinds of stories when we're surrounded by bad news every day. So this is just like such a source of light and positivity. And knowing that everybody can get involved and do something is just such a great feeling. So I thank you for doing what you're doing, and I'm sure it's your full-time job, it's your life. So
It is.
I appreciate you.
Well, thank you, and I appreciate you. I'm really grateful that you shared your time with me. So
Of
thank you.
course,
You are my
we're
partner in
so happy to
kindness.
have you. I'm so honored and so grateful to have that title. I love that, and I'll be thinking about you now going forward because I think that if everybody has more of a mindset like you, really great things could be done. So, Jenny, thank you so much, and
Okay.
everybody, it's Project Kind 123 on
Yes.
Instagram, projectkind123.org, and
Think
we will
about
be following along. I'm so
it.
excited for you.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
I appreciate
Well, thank you
it.
so
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
Have a
Bye.
wonderful evening. Bye, Jenny.
Okay. Bye.